Okay, hi, this is Eli from Tupac Bio, and I'll be giving a quick tutorial on getting started with Tupac Bio Designer. First, I'd like to apologize in advance if there's a lot of scrolling. I'm making the screen recording on my 13-inch MacBook because I'm first world poor, but hopefully you have a larger monitor and it's easy to use the UI with less scrolling. So let's get started. Once you're logged in, Um, you'll see the user dashboard, which has two tabs at the top, My Projects and My Custom Elements. We're in My Projects right now, and you'll see I've already created some projects that are public that you can see and browse public projects. First, let's click on My Custom Elements tab, and here you can create a new element. You can view elements you've already created, as I've already created many elements, and you can delete them if you want. Let's go back to My Projects. So if you're logging in for the first time, under this Create New Project button, you'll probably see 5 out of 5 private projects remaining. Mine says 100 because even though I'm first world poor, I'm project rich. So let's use one of those new projects, private projects. So I'll create a new project, and after the UI loads, first thing you want to do, probably change the title. So you can create a title, New Drugs. But you probably want to create you can make the title a little bit more descriptive or generic, if you will. So let's say Lucentis light chain variants. Then you want to describe what the project is about, what's going on in the project. This project could be used for, let's say, for cloning light chain variants into Pcom 3x, a common phage mid, using fab expression. And most likely you want to be a little bit more descriptive than that, but just giving you a general idea. So let's take a look at the panels. First, you'll probably want to look at the sequence template designer here, where you're going to design your sequences and place all the elements you want to use. And where do you get these elements? Well, if we look right down here a little bit lower, you'll see Element Explorer. And Element Explorer has various categories of elements. You can access iGEM database or NCBI. We're not going to go through all of the element categories in this tutorial. We'll probably focus on custom elements right now. So in My Custom Elements, we have My Elements, Public Elements, and you can create new elements. So if we create a new element, you have the choice of using DNA or amino acid sequences. And on the sequence template designer, you can actually mix both types of elements into a design. So I'm going to do DNA. What's a good, my newest, I already did this once on them. So my new element 2, something, and AT. So then the element will pop up here after you've created it. So let's drag some elements from the Element Explorer to the Sequence Template Designer. I believe we're doing, let's see, Lucentis light chain. So I'll look for some Lucentis sequences. Here we have Lucentis light chain scaffold region, and we have a CDR complementary determining region, another scaffold region, another CDR scaffold. I think you get the general idea. Probably want to add a restriction enzyme anchor sequence somewhere. I'm not going to go through the whole design. We can add some restriction enzyme recognition sites for cloning purposes. This is, again, just an example. If you want to see the actual design, you should look in the public projects. So after we've created a single sequence, or even in the process, you can click on an element and always see details about the element in this element detail panel in the lower right, as well as seeing the sequence in the sequence viewer. So this is an amino acid sequence. I think most of these are amino acid sequences, but these are DNA sequences, the restriction enzyme recognition sites and the restriction enzyme anchor region. So after you've created a single sequence, you probably want to get familiar with the templates panel on the left here. And the templates panel allows you to organize multiple sequence design into one project. It also really helps with high throughput design. So the way it helps with high throughput design is you can easily duplicate a template. So now we see that template 1 and 2 are the same. But I can make a small change, like I can delete a complementary determining region, and I can duplicate it again and add a new element if I want. I don't know what's really, I could add a Herceptin, a complementary determining region there if I wanted. So after you've created a bunch of sequence designs, again, I'm not going to go through all the element types in this tutorial, you want to save your changes to the project. But before you do that, you probably want to think about how you want to optimize the codons for the amino acid elements. And so if you leave it on none, BioDesigner will randomly choose a codon that codes for the amino acid, for the given amino acid. But it's going to randomly choose it for each amino acid in each element, which is fine. But you can also select an organism, an expression system of choice. And if you select an expression system, a specific organism, BioDesigner will choose the most commonly used codon in that organism's genome to code for the amino acid in the amino acid element. So we're just going to leave it on none for now. And before I save changes, under more, you'll see that download sequences is grayed out. It's because we haven't saved anything yet and there's no sequences to download. But once we click Save Changes, we make an initial commit. The software will generate the sequences you want, and then you'll be able to download them. So, oops, I downloaded it twice. Okay, so let's open the zip. Before we open it up, I just want to remind you we have 3 templates here. So when we open up the zip, we have 3 template folders. Right now there's only 1 sequence in each. Nothing too fancy. But in the next tutorials we'll do some more fancy stuff. I hope that was useful, and go play with Tupac BioDesigner. Knock yourself out.